Roland Barthes. Roland Barthes was influenced by Ferdinand de Saussure. Saussure argued language is a system of signs. Barthes extended this idea to culture itself. Barthes says everything in culture can function as a sign. Clothes, food, photographs, films, advertisements, wrestling, and celebrities. Culture behaves just like language. Barthes gives the example of wrestling. He says wrestling is not an ordinary sport. It is a dramatic system of signs. What functions as signs? The masks, the gestures, the body language, the exaggerated suffering, the costumes, and the expressions used by the wrestlers act as signs. These signs communicate evil, justice, revenge, betrayal, heroism. The audience does not care whether wrestling is real. They enjoy the clear display of moral meanings. Wrestling becomes theatrical semiotics. What does the word semiotics mean? It means the study of signs and symbols and how they create meaning. A famous statement by Barthes, myth is a type of speech. Barthes does not mean myth only as ancient gods, legends, and folklore. He means anything communicating cultural meaning can become myth. Thus, advertisements, national symbols, media images, consumer products can function mythologically. He gives a very famous example of a French magazine cover. A black soldier wearing French uniform is saluting the French flag. At first level, the image simply shows a soldier saluting. But at mythic level, it signifies French imperial unity, patriotism, legitimacy of colonialism. The image silently communicates French colonialism is natural and noble. By this example of a black soldier wearing French uniform saluting the French flag, Barthes wants to show us that there is a myth behind it. The myth is the black people are happy and patriotic about being a French soldier and they are saluting the French flag. Thus, the image silently communicates French colonialism is natural and noble. Barthes says myth is a second order sign system. Basic sign system signifier plus signified is equal to sign. Mythic sign system, a completed sign can itself become a new signifier inside ideology. This creates myth. What does the word ideology mean? It means a system of beliefs, values, ideas, and assumptions through which people understand reality and society. Karl Marx famously says the ruling ideas of each age have ever been the ideas of its ruling class. Marx wants to say that the dominant class in society controls education, religion, media, culture, and politics. As a result, its ideas begin to appear natural, normal, and universal. This system of dominant ideas is ideology. Barthes says myth transforms history into nature. What does he mean by that? Ideas created historically by society begin to seem natural, eternal, and unquestionable. Thus, ideology hides its own constructed nature. Myth transforms history into nature. Here, history means things created by society, culture, politics, economics, and ideology. These are human-made, not natural. Nature means something appearing universal, permanent, God-given, and self-evident. What myth does? Myth hides the fact that ideas are historically produced. It makes cultural ideas look natural. Advertisements often suggest expensive products is equal to happiness. This is not a natural law. It is a capitalist cultural idea, but media presents it as obvious truth. Thus, ideology becomes myth. Another famous statement by Roland Barthes, the birth of the reader must be at the cost of the death of the author. Traditional criticism focused on author's intention, biography, and psychology. Barthes rejected this. He argued meaning is produced in reading. Texts contain multiple meanings. Author does not control interpretation completely. Why this was revolutionary? It shifted literary criticism from author-centered meaning to reader-centered interpretation. This deeply influenced reader response criticism, post-structuralism, and deconstruction. Roland Barthes is considered the bridge between structuralism and post-structuralism. The birth of the reader must be at the cost of the death of the author. If the author no longer controls meaning absolutely, then readers can produce different interpretations. This directly opens the text to plurality of meanings. The goal of literary work is to make the reader no longer a consumer but a producer of the text, says Roland Barthes. Readers actively create meanings. Therefore, meaning is not singular or fixed. Different readers may produce different interpretations. That's why the concept of plurality. Roland Barthes gives the context of readerly and writerly text. What does he mean by that? Readerly text, also called legible, are fixed, closed, and passive. Writerly text, also called scriptable, are open, plural, and invites many interpretations. Roland Barthes says the text is plural. Plural means not single, not fixed, not final. A text contains many codes, many meanings, many interpretations. That's why he says the text is plural. Another statement he makes is, a text is made of multiple writings. He means a literary text is not completely original or created from nothing by single author. Every text is made from earlier texts, cultural ideas, quotations, language systems, myths, symbols, traditions, social discourses. Thus, originality becomes unstable. Take the example of William Shakespeare. He did not invent all his stories completely. For example, Hamlet draws from older revenge tragedy traditions, historical legends, classical ideas, Renaissance philosophy. Thus, the play is made of multiple writings. Thank you.